Hello everyone, my name is Aayush. I am currently a senior in the computer science program. My mentor for this project is Dr. Chen, who is a professor at the Department of Computer Science. My research topic is dimensionality reduction in malaria cell classification. It is about using nonlinear dimensionality reduction with autoencoders to increase the efficiency of malaria classification model. Firstly, a quick introduction. Machine learning is getting increasingly popular in medical image analysis. For this research, we used a dataset provided by the National Institute of Health with images of malaria-infected cells which can be used to train a network to classify malaria-infected blood cells. We built a convolutional neural network with a base accuracy of 92%. Our objective was to use nonlinear dimensionality reduction to increase the efficiency of this model. So, quick about dimensionality, it refers to the number of features in a given data. Data with large number of features require a large number of parameters to be trained. This means the model size becomes very big when training, causing problems like insufficient memory and disk space or longer training time. Autoencoders can be used to reduce the number of features with little loss of information. This is a basic model of an autoencoder. So in this example, it takes an original data of 6 features and maps it to just 2 features. The bottleneck layer then learns important features by trying to reconstruct the original data from the reduced features. In our case, we had an input image of size 128 by 128 by 3, or close to 49,000 features. We encoded it into a 16 by 16 by 16 array, or about 4,000 features, which is just 8% of the original feature vector. Here we can see that the reconstruction, although is not exactly the same as the original image, it has retained most of the important features and information from the image. This suggests that the encoding has properly learned useful information about the data. This is the model of our classifier. However, we test this model on 2 separate inputs, the original and the encoded. Although we only change the input layer, we will see how the change propagates in the network. On the left-hand side, we see our original model, which inputs 128 by 128 by 3 image. The total trainable parameters is 3.3 million, which is the number of variables that need to be updated and fine-tuned for the network to achieve good accuracy. With this model, we achieved an accuracy of 92%. Now on the right-hand side is the reduced model, which first encodes the image into a 16 by 16 by 16 array and then runs it through the exact same model. However, we see that we only have about 171,000 trainable parameters in this model, which is less than 6% of the original model. However, we are still able to achieve the same average accuracy. But with the little parameters, this model can be trained on a much smaller system with much fewer resources. We then saved the model on the disk. The original model, when stored as an H5 file, occupied a disk space of 37.8 megabytes, whereas the reduced model, when stored as an H5 file, occupied a disk space of just 2.08 MB, which is less than 6% of the original model, which makes sense considering a model is mostly just a collection of its parameters. Increasing size of models is a growing problem in the deep learning community. In 2019, NVIDIA attained a model with 8.3 billion parameters, where storing the parameters alone used up 33 gigabytes on the disk. Higher parameters also need larger memory and processing power during training time, which can get very expensive very fast. Dimensionality reduction with autoencoders can reduce the size of complicated networks, allowing us to train them in much smaller machines with lower cost. Along with malaria-infected classification, this can be useful in other medical image analysis and much more in the deep learning community. After discussing with my mentor Dr. Chen, for now we think that the pattern recognition journal would be a good fit for this research project. Thank you.